Welcome back to Mrs. Riley's Maths videos. We're continuing with statistics and we're continuing with finding mean, median and mode, and this time we're looking at a grouped frequency table. So we looked at a frequency table before. This time we're looking at a grouped frequency table and I'll explain the difference to you. So in this particular set of data, 30 people were asked how much money they spent on chocolate in a particular shop. Okay, not very believable, I know, but anyway. And the answer that they gave was in cents. Okay, and all of them, funnily enough, spent less than €1. But we want to draw a frequency table for this, and we're going to do our table out like normal. And as you're looking at the data there while I'm drawing the table, I think you should notice that actually the data, like there's loads of different values. So there's not just some 80s and then there's another few 55s and another few 46s. There's loads of different types of numbers there in the range from zero, almost zero, up to 100. So I couldn't really do a frequency table where I listed every single number and counted up how many times that occurs, and that's why we use a grouped frequency table. So I'll explain how that looks now. So again, this is going to be the money spent in cent. That's going to be our top row, and this is going to be how many people. This is the frequency of the money spent. So this is our X and this is our F. So in other words, how many people spent that amount. That's what the frequency is. How many people spent that amount. Now, to make it easier to use the data and to make it just possible to use, I'm going to put a group of numbers together that are alike. So looking at this, I can see I've no 0 to 10, so I'm going to ignore 0 to 10s, but I do have 10s and 15s and 18s. So I do have numbers that go from 10 up to 20. I have numbers that go from 20 to 30, so I'm going to have 20 to 30. I have numbers that are 30 to 40. I have numbers like that. I have, and look, now that I have it all kind of going up in tens, I may as well keep it going up in tens. 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, and let's say I'll have to squeeze this in. Okay, 80 to 90 and 90 to 100. Okay, forgive that badly drawn bit there. So 10 to 20. So how many people had spent money between 10 to 20? Now notice 20s here and 20s here. So what we'll have to do is just make it clear that, say, from 10 to 20 includes 10 cent, but not 20 cent. Okay. And that would mean then, if I wanted to make it even clearer, which I don't have to, but I'm just going to, for your sake, I'm just going to say, so 20 to 30 would include 20 cent, but not 30 cent. So the people in this box spent anywhere between 10 and 20 cent, but not 20 itself. So that becomes more important when we're talking about decimals. It's not quite so important here, but especially when we're talking about decimals, it's particularly important. So 10, there's 110. What else do we have? We have a 15 and an 18. So we have 3 people spent between 10 and 20. The 20s, we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 people spent between 20 and 30. 30 to 40, we've got 1, 2, 3 people between 30 and 40. 40 to 50, we've got 1, 2, just 2. 50 to 60, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 60 to 70, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 70 to 80, we have 1, 2, 3, Just 3. 3. 80 to 90 we have 1, 2, 3. 3, 80 to 90, and 90 to 100 we have 1, 2, 3, 3. Now remember 30 people were asked, so let's just check. 3 plus 5 is 8, and 3 is 11, and 2 is 13, and 4 is 17, and 4 is 21, 24, 27, 30. Yeah, so total of 30. So that's just double checking that I got that right. Okay, now hopefully you can go back over that if you need to, but hopefully you can see where I got those figures. Now let's just talk here. Sorry about that alarm going off. Let's just talk here about we'll start off with doing the mode. Now when we've got a grouped frequency table, we can sometimes hear it referred to as the modal group. That just means what group is the mode. What group is the mode? So here, that's the one at the highest frequency, isn't it? The highest frequency is 5, and that's the group 20 to 30. Okay, so the modal group is 20 to 30. The median is going to be the score of the middle person. Now in this case it's going to be, we'll be asked a question something like, what group is the median? I suppose does is better. What group does the median lie in? So in which group, or which group contains the median? Which group? You may hear some fighting going on in the background about Xbox there, but I'll have to ignore it. Which group contains the median? Well, 30 people. So the median is going to be the 15th plus the 16th person, the average of those two. So where's the 15th and the 16th person? 3 and 5 is 8, and 3 is 11, and 2 is 13. So the first 13 people are here. So the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th people are here. So the 15th and 16th people are in this group. So the median group is 50 to 60 cent. Now, the difficulty here lies with working out the mean. Because what we know is that 3 people spent between 10 and 20 cent. How would I work out the mean? Because if you remember what we did, we said 3 people times the amount they spent, and then it was 5 people times the amount they spent, plus 3 people times the amount they spent, plus 2 people times the amount they spent, and so on. Okay, 2 people times the amount they spent. Okay, 2 people times the amount they spent, plus 4 people times the amount they spent, plus 4 people times the amount they spent, plus 3 people times the amount 3 people times the amount they spent, plus 3 people okay,